We have a graduate in Idaho that used this letter, and she sent them out all over the place. She called me, oh, I think it was about 2 weeks after she did this. She had approximately 20 people wanting to share with her. Of course, she couldn't do that many places, but she was getting a lot of referrals from doctors and other people that she sent the letter to. So it's also a great advertising ploy as well. So that's how you can start. Sharing an office is number one. Working out of your home is also a good option, but make it a professional looking atmosphere, okay? If your client has to walk in a side door and go through the bathroom and through the kitchen and see dirty laundry all over the place before he gets to the, the session room, it's probably not going to be a good deal. If you have dogs or kids that are constantly making noise, it's probably not going to work out well, either. So make sure you're set up good professionally to be able to do a business from your home. The nice thing about doing a business from your home is, of course, it's a tax write-off. How much of your house are you using? If you're using, 1/4 of your house for business, well, you can write off 1/4 of the mortgage or the rent if you're renting. You can write off 1/4 of the, electricity, the oil, phone. There's so many nice things that you can do. Okay, so it's a good write-off. Again, if it's comfortable. Now, if you're not in a good neighborhood, if you're with have a rougher clientele, you may not want to do it from home because people are seeing your home. They're seeing all the goodies you have in the house, okay, so you can be a target as well. And the ultimate, of course, is to have your own office. When I first started out, like I said, I had an office. I was working out of the home. I was working out of 2 other locations. One day I was driving back from the Sanford location, from the where the allergist was, and I drove by this pharmacy that went out of business. I immediately called and rented the pharmacy. This pharmacy was, I think it was about 20 feet wide by 75 feet long, and it was 2 stories, so it was quite a space. Right about then I had got into being an instructor, so actually teaching hypnosis rather than doing, in addition to doing sessions. So what I did was I set up the front with the windows. It was a little kind of hypnosis metaphysical center selling books and all kinds of things. Then behind that I put a wall. I had the actual place for sessions where I did my hypnosis sessions, and the back was actually where I taught and did the school. So it was nice, and I was able to close up the other 2 locations and had one big office. The beauty of having a big office is that you have sound, you have the signs. I had a big 8-foot by 4-foot sign, fluorescent yellow. Okay, you'll notice that a lot of my signs and my advertising books happen to be fluorescent yellow because I want them to be seen, going down the road. Yes, I get a note here. That's a very good point. Be sure to check zoning. Some places don't allow businesses. Luckily, I was always in a place that did. The house I had in Springvale was right across the street from Nassau College, and the house happened to belong to the ex-dean of the college. So half the house was business for him, the other half was home, so it worked out well. But if you don't have the zoning, most places you can still do it, but you're not going to be able to advertise. So it's kind of almost along the lines of an Amway type business, okay? But if you want it to be zoned, if you want to advertise, because you want to put your address so they know where to go. So anyways, I had my own office, and things went a lot better. Just from the signs I had in the windows, because I had big 10-foot by 10-foot windows, and the sign on the top of the building, that's all the advertising I had to do, and I had clients coming from as far as Connecticut to northern Maine. I was right on the main drag, so that was great. Again, if you can get something like that right on Main Street, where you're going to get a lot of exposure, that's great. Otherwise, I think I've spoken to many of you in the past, your bread and butter is newspapers. Okay, so those are different ways to open an office. Now, let's go a little bit beyond the office. Okay, you want to open an office for hypnosis, okay? You want to get into business. You graduated. What do you want to do? To me, it's very important that you specialize. Today we live in a world of specializing in things. Don't be a jack of all trades, master of none. I've seen so many websites you go on. We do, and they give you 100 different things that they do hypnosis in. Well, how can they be proficient in all these different things? You see what I mean? If you can find a niche, if you can find something that you want to do that hopefully has enough business that you can specialize in, you're going to do a lot better. Samir, if you go on our listing of practitioners state by state, you'll see we have Samir Shamoon out in California. Now Samir specializes in smoking, just smoking cessation. And he does a bang-up business. He's been doing it for years just with smoking, okay? Some people, you know, that have degrees in working with children might specialize in pediatric hypnosis, you know, pain management, relaxation. There's so many different things you can do. Be sure you've checked out your niche, so it's a niche that will work. Let me give you an example. Relaxation. Everyone loves to relax. Do you realize my first 4 years in business up here having a practice in Maine, I never had anybody come in for a relaxation session. Why? Maine, it's the way life should be. It's all boonies, there's no stress, it's all relaxation. People don't get stressed as much here as they do in the city. Years ago, we moved to Philadelphia. Okay, here's a different story. We moved to Philadelphia, and I think in our first month we had like 5 stress sessions. I think stress was probably second to smoking cessation. But, I mean, all night long we could hear gunshots from our house. Okay, that's what Philly's like, the city of brotherly love, okay? So, there, if I wanted to specialize in stress reduction, I could have done a good business in it. Up here in Maine, I don't think I could have, you know, even paid for the rent, okay? So you want to find something that's going to work. So you find what you want to do. What's your niche going to be? Now, this is something a lot of people don't think about, okay? The end result is, okay, I'm going to do a good business. I'm excited about this. How's the journey going to be from here to there, okay? And you're preparing it and doing it. Is this ultimately something you're going to enjoy? You know, the purpose of life is to be happy. You know, let's be happy doing what we're doing. But if you're not going to enjoy doing it, maybe you should find something else. If you don't like being around sick people, then pain management probably isn't a good thing for you, or working with cancer patients. If you don't like children, probably not pediatric hypnosis, okay? So do something that you're going to enjoy as well, and it's going to come out in your work, okay? Let me see. Okay, so you find your niche. Is it enjoyable? Is it in demand? Okay. Now, how much of whatever you're going to do you need to do to make an income? Okay. Okay, let's say smoking. Instead of just going out there and doing hundreds of smoking sessions, okay, and burning out, you've probably seen some of the things I've taught before. I speak about, look at the end result. How much money do you want to make? Divide that into how many, you know, how much you're charging a session. So I think the average place probably charges about $150 an hour, or $150 a session. So divide how much you want to make. Let's say it's $100,000 a year or $75,000 a year, divided by $150, divided by 52 weeks, and it tells you how many sessions a week you need to do. That makes it a lot easier. So let's say it happens to be 8 sessions a week. Well, if you see the average client 4 times, okay, because I don't like to do anything for less than 4 sessions, then that means you only need 2 clients a week to meet your goal. That's a lot less intimidating than trying to do a whole mess of sessions and doing, you know, 30 sessions a week and getting burnt out after 3 weeks. Okay, so figure out what you want, what do you have to do the math. Now you have a goal, you have a plan of how you're going to get there, okay?